camera techniques, specifically framing techniques, are very important to the look of your film and also to what the camera is trying to tell the viewer. We will now discuss the following framing techniques: rule of thirds, contrast as it relates to contrasting backgrounds, line of sight, details of a particular scene, and close-ups. The rule of thirds. If you can imagine a tic-tac-toe chart where the lines divide a space up into thirds, then you'll understand the basics of rule of thirds. In rule of thirds, when you frame the main subject, you need to imagine that the scene, the frame, is broken up into thirds, and that the main topic should be placed in one of these four locations. And the goal is to offset your main object in your viewfinder. Do not center your subject. This is designed to create visual interest. Contrast. Specifically to the background, you need to be very aware of what is going on behind your subject. For example, if we have a subject here that is dealing with a particular situation, and in the background, because we're not professionals and we're filming on location, there might be a discussion going on between two people that may be animated, and the emotion in the background may have nothing to do with the emotion of the main subject. So the question you need to ask yourself is the action in the background related to the scene? If the relationship between the background and the main part of the scene is contrasting, in other words, it does not work with the main subject, in the situations that we'll be dealing with, you really just need to find a different location. It may simply be a matter of moving a few yards or around a corner. Line of sight. In our world, we see a line of sight that is pretty much eye level. When you move your camera, for example, if you move your camera to a lower position and shoot up at your subject, it's a view of a small child, an animal, say a cat or something looking up at the subject. That's the view you're going to get. It also makes, this view also makes the character larger than life. In contrast, a bird's eye view where the camera is above the subject gives a view that is very unusual to the viewer, because this is the standard view that we live in. Whenever you move your camera out of the eye-to-eye view that the world that we live in, instinctively people will be drawn to your shot simply because it's such an unusual shot, as one that we're not used to. Just make sure that you use it appropriately for the particular scene. Scene details. A clock, a set of keys, a broken glass, a dripping faucet. These are ways to define the location, make it personal. An establishing shot gathers all the information, whereas scene details really go in close and personal to give the audience a real sense of what the location, what the scene is all about. Is it in an apartment or a bedroom or wherever they may be? So pay attention to the use of scene details. It's a very powerful framing technique. Close-ups, close-ups, close-ups. Eyes can tell the story. Film versus stage. The power of the camera and the power of film is that the camera has the ability to bring the audience close and personal to the character. The emotion of the eyes, a slight tilt of the head, a smirk, something that you would never see in a stage setting. Simply filming a scene as if it were a play misses the point of the power of film. So never ever forget the power of the close-up.